Did you know that having excessive body hair is linked to higher intelligence? Like you, I immediately thought of someone in my life close to me. I know you guys are thinking of the same person right now, right? It can be a friend, family member, or classmate even, right? But but I'm gonna start thinking about some of our very ancient ancestors during the Paleolithic era, right? And in this speech, I'll inform you all about them and their lifestyles. So first, to I guess refresh you guys, the Paleolithic period was almost 3 million years ago, right? So that's been a long, long time ago, right? This means that the hominids that roamed the ground were in the Old Stone Age. This is like old Stone Age, right? And they're our ancestors are not the same people who like roam today like us. They're they mostly they closely related to earlier primates, and the actual scientific name for them is the Australopithecus. And fun fact, that translates into southern ape in Latin. Right? This means that our ancestors were on the verge of evolution that would eventually lead to us today. So this is the like transition era sort of thing. And just the Australopithecus had smaller brains, they had sharper teeth, and they didn't really know how to function like us today. Right. Now I'm going to speak about the lifestyles of these. The hominids that lived before us had not developed a sense of community. So this means they didn't gather in very large groups like our towns today. They'd rather smaller groups to like hunt more, you know. And yeah, when I say community, it's larger groups like towns and cities, even countries. This means that this also means that without the larger civilization they had, they didn't even like domesticate animals yet, so they had to run around and find their stuff to eat. And with all that information, you could gather that they were hunter-gatherers. You know, they never stayed in the same place. And the hunter-gatherer means they never had a reliable source of food. Like our cows today, pigs, chickens, or even plants like corn, wheat, anything. So since we know that they were hunter-gatherers, we can kind of get a sense of their diet, you know? And their diet from 2.5 million years ago today is extremely different, right? They ate more lean meats, more nuts, more vegetables, more fruits than us today, actually. And because of that, they their bodies developed into that sort of hunter gatherer eat whatever you can find sort of lifestyle. And so over time, once they domesticated animals and stuff, they developed their bodies developed or their bodies didn't need this sort of eat whatever you can find sort of thing. So like if we were to go on the diet that they had millions of years ago, we would not be able to keep up with them. Although there are many health benefits like lower blood pressure, increased glucose uh, protection, right? And so to get this food, you know, you have to kill animals and stuff. You have to forage. They have tools, all right. So the tools that they used were mainly stone tools, all right. Not like so they found two rocks, banged them together, and found some sharp shards. That's the tools that they used for everything from uh, killing animals to digging up food. And their bodies were, our bodies today are more like, we're like cross country runners. You know, we can go for a longer distance, longer than most animals. And that's how we did have our food. We tracked them down and followed them until the only thing that they could do was sit down, sleep, and wait for us to kill them, to eat them. Alright? So in conclusion, our ancestors are not as smart as today, but they were clearly advanced for their time, like tracking down their food and making their tools. From their diet to their history, I've informed you of all the information about our ancestors from the Paleolithic period. So next time you hear about this period, you can think back to all the information I've taught to you today and maybe even teach other people. So thank you for listening.